What up, Buck Lightning? Another road vlog. They'll happen occasionally when I feel like talking about something. And I really should have posted something about this past weekend. But I've kind of forgotten about it. Life gets in the way. But so there was a big announcement in the world of sci-fi this past Sunday. They announced that the new Doctor from Doctor Who will be a woman. It's true. It's crazy. It's a woman. Now, personally speaking, I don't care much. But for a little bit of background, I'm not the world's biggest Doctor Who fan. I started watching when David Tennant was the Doctor, which makes me more of a new Who fan. Like a lot of Doctor Who fans, like literally from the time they were 4, were watching this. It's a property over 50 years old. To me, it's similar to when I get affected by comics because I've been reading comics my entire life. But we'll get to that in a second. But I'm not the biggest Doctor Who fan. I loved most of the Matt Smith stuff. Matt Smith and Amy Pond, that was my crew. And then, even though I really like Peter Capaldi, I realized watching it, I was just like, I'm not really a Doctor Who fan. I'm just kind of a Matt Smith fan, and a Karen Gillan fan. Karen, call me. Wink. Anyway, so I don't have that much invested in it, And I will say this, hey, a lot of people say this is sexist, but it's true. There were a lot of women who were watching Doctor Who because they thought he was sexy. Yeah, whether it was Tennant. I don't know did women find Matt Smith sexy? I'm not sure. I know Tennant and the first Doctor, whose name escapes me, the Scottish one that was in Thor. I don't remember his name. But anyway, they thought it was sexy, and that's what got them to start watching. It's not to say that that's the only reason they watch, but I heard a lot of that, So, for me, it's nice to have a Doctor that I would like to fuck. It's pretty hot. The new Doctor's pretty hot. Well, anyway, but there's no doubt that this is a diversity, social justice warrior choice. They've been talking for a while, should we make the Doctor female? No, you probably shouldn't. The Doctor is an old white man. The new Who thing, actually, a lot of the complaints from the classic fans were that he was young. See, that's the thing. There's a consistency there. People don't get that. But there's a consistency there. They want the Doctor they grew up with. And New Who hasn't given them a lot of that. Peter Capaldi was the first old Doctor. And there were problems with that, too, the way he was written in there. But, there's a consistency there. And, but because we live in the world we do, where social justice warriors have some clout, even though they're not that big a part of the world, they're just the loudest. They're the people that are on the internet, for the most part. They're on Tumblr, they're on Twitter. They're making a lot of noise, and for some reason, companies pay attention to that. Even though, again, demographically, they're not that big a part of the population. There was, who was it? Oh, it's that bitch, I'm calling her a bitch. I'm not calling her a bitch because she's a woman. She's a fucking bitch. Anita Sarkeesian, Feminist Frequency, made a comment about, even though there's a new female Doctor, it's not good enough because she wasn't black and she wasn't queer or trans. This is the world we live in. And it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about because this is the social justice warrior mentality. There is no appeasing them. You can't be like, okay, the social justice warriors think it's time for a female Doctor. You know what? I agree. let's do that. And give them a female doctor. And they won't say, it's about time there was a female doctor. I mean, some people will, and some people did. But not the social justice warriors. No. No, that wasn't enough. There is no appeasing them. Because it's not really about having a female doctor. It's about destroying the cis, white patriarchy that controls people and enslaves or whatever. I don't want to get too far into that shit. But that's true. That's the reason I bring up social justice warriors is that's the base of why this was done. This wasn't done for any story reasons. This was done because they wanted to be provocative and give diversity its moment in Doctor Who. And the reaction to that, I can't speak to everyone that reacted to it, but I saw a lot of fairly rational reactions from people who didn't like it. Because mostly what people were saying was, like, I don't like this. You know, I saw on a website an article I was looking at a few minutes ago that inspired me to do this. The most extreme example of misogyny, which is what they called it, that they could find was someone writing ruined. Okay, like it's a little much. It's a little much to say Doctor Who's ruined forever by making it a woman, but it's not really that extreme. And the article is all about, like, look at these misogynists, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, they're not really that misogynist. All they're saying is, like, I don't care for this. And I'll give you a perfect example of why, and this really, really pissed me off. I have a friend on Twitter. I'm not going to mention his Twitter handle, even though he's a good guy and you should follow him, because I don't think he'd want me to. He kind of just wanted to just, like, disengage from all this because it was immature. But so when the announcement came out, he was like, this, I don't care for this. This isn't, I don't remember his exact words, but basically, he's a perfectly reasonable, rational, funny guy. Never seen him attack anyone online, ever, you know. And he and his best friend used to have a podcast, and they've long expressed that they've been Doctor Who fans their entire lives. They're of those people, pre-New Who, like, true Doctor Who fans. And yes, there is such a thing as a true fan versus a new fan. I'm a new fan. I'm not as, I've just said to you, I'm not as invested in Doctor Who as they are. Because I'm a new fan. You can't compare something that you've loved for a day to something you've loved for a year. And if you think you can, you're a moron. In any case. He said something perfectly rational. He just said, I don't care for this. And then some fucking fool, I don't know who this person is. They don't even, like, I don't even think that person, it's one of those people that doesn't use their name, which, to be fair, my name says Buck Lightning, so it kind of makes me a hypocrite here. But, you know, it's one of those people that doesn't use any sort of name. There's no Twitter avatar that looks like them. It's just some random account that happened to be verified. And what the fuck is up with that? Like, remember when Twitter just verified celebrities so that you wouldn't follow and get information from somebody pretending to be a celebrity? But now all these fucking, like, retards have a Twitter verification badge that makes it seem like it's a status symbol now. But anyway, so this guy, I guess he followed my friend. I don't know. But somehow or another found him. And instead of engaging him and replying to him, he took one of his tweets, nothing insane, just took one of his tweets, retweeted and started, like, basically harassing him. And, you know, saying, what do you mean? What do you do? Like, I want to know. I want to know what your problem is. You know, basically implying he's, like, sexist, misogynist, patriarchy, whatever the fuck. Who cares? And my friend tried to engage him. He was actually at the grocery store at the time. He was like, the guy was like, what's your problem? And he was like, I don't care for it. like, you know, he's like, oh, you know, like, maybe I'll discuss this later. But the guy kept like retweeting. He wasn't just responding. Basically, if you're not familiar with Twitter, you can take someone's statement and quote it and then make a comment on it. Sometimes this is used for rational reasons. And look, I'm not going to pretend that I don't do this. Like, when I see somebody, it's famous. I don't ever do it to somebody who's, like, normal. But if somebody's famous, and it's always if somebody said something vile, you know, and really vile. Not, like, medium vile. Not like, oh, I don't care for the new Doctor Who. Like, I support cop killers, which is something that I won't get into that right now, but is a company tweeted that. Doesn't matter. But that's what you can do. But it's used. It can be used various ways, but it's often used to get people that follow you to attack someone, which is what this guy was doing. He wasn't trying to have a discussion about Doctor Who with my friend. He was trying to get his followers to attack my friend. And I was really pissed. Like, because like I said, this is a good guy. Like, you know, if it was me, I don't expect anybody to defend me because I'm an asshole. Like, I'm okay with that. And also, I make provocative statements, and you can't do that and expect that people won't respond provocatively, like you provoke them. But I was really fucking mad. And I almost went after the guy, but I knew my friend he didn't want that. He just kind of wanted to go away, and he just like started blocking people. And he never said anything irrational, never started fighting with people. He was a good guy, you know, but my point, I'm not going to say like he represents every Doctor Who fan, every true Who fan, whatever. But my point is like that's seems to be largely what it is just classic fans who are just upset that you took something they loved and you twisted it to your agenda. Or someone else, it's not even your agenda, it's someone else's agenda. And look, if you're happy, you know, and I know people that are happy with the new female Doctor Who. If you're happy with that, that's cool. Like, that's perfectly fine. And guess what? It's perfectly fucking fine if you're not. It's okay. We live in a world where you can have two different opinions on fucking Doctor Who. That's the craziest thing about that. People attacking other people over fucking Doctor Who. You know, it's, you know, it's fucking crazy, you know, and it really, really gives you less hope for the world. Like when you can't even agree to disagree on the casting choice of Doctor Who. Which, by the way, a little bit of history. Every time a new Doctor is announced, everyone hates him, or in this case her. Every time. Without question. When I saw Matt Smith, I thought he looked like a goddamn alien. He doesn't have eyebrows. It was weird. I was like, why? Why would you choose this guy? A couple episodes deep, I was like, I get why you chose this guy. This guy's awesome. This isn't anything new. The only difference between when Matt Smith was chosen, and I apologize, I'm not familiar with the woman's name. She was just announced. I think she was on Broadchurch or something. But anyway, the only difference between that guy and this woman is that this time it's a woman doctor, and so that gives shitty people a chance to, or like an opportunity to attack people that they disagree with. So that's it. That's, you know, I went on long enough. Don't be shitty to somebody over Doctor Who. And hey, look, I will say this, like, to those of you who are upset about the Doctor being female, it might not actually be as bad as you think. It actually might be an interesting story. I certainly have issues with it, but it might be a good thing. And I guess that's all I got to say about that. Just be kind. All right, I'm out.